thank you for staying with us. Anil Sahgal joins us now on this leg of the show to answer all of our questions on insurance. Anil, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Our first question comes in from Nareen Ahmed. Now, he writes in saying he's 27 years old. He has 2 insurance policies right now. The first of which is an endowment plan. He's paying about 2,300 rupees every quarter, and it will give him a return of about 5 lakh rupees in the next 16 years. His other plan is a money-back plan. He's paying about 8,000 rupees every quarter for that plan, and it promises him about 10.5 lakh rupees also in the next 16 years. His target is to have a corpus of 1 crore rupees when he's 40 years old. Now, obviously, these 2 policies are not going to be enough. He wants to know what else he should be investing in.
Naveen, there are 2 parts to your question. So the first part as relates to your existing policies and whether you should continue them or discontinue. Your problem, if I may call it that, is that you've taken longer-term traditional plans where the guaranteed surrender value typically, on a traditional plan is around 30 to 35% of the premiums paid, less the first year's premium. Obviously, the actual surrender value varies, and you'll have to check that with the company. But you could stand to lose a fair amount of the premiums that you've already paid in the event that you decide to surrender any of these policies. So based on your needs, whether you need to kind of have the cash, whether you're able to continue servicing these policies, and based on the input that you finally get from the insurance company on the surrender value, you have to decide whether this is the right opportunity for you or not. As far as your long-term savings goal is concerned, you mentioned that your income is around 42,000 rupees, and in the next 30 years you want to accumulate around 1 crore rupees. Now, at 12% annual rate of return also, you would need to save around 25,000 rupees a month to be able to hit that target by the time you turn 40. And again, 12% is something that probably is a mix of investments in different types of asset classes, whether equities included. And again, you should take particular financial advice based on your risk appetite and risk profile from a financial advisor to see how much you should invest in what asset class.
We have time for one last question. Arvind has written in. He wants to know if the Shiksha Plus plan from Max New York Life is the best option for him. Now, he pays a premium of 24,000 rupees every year. He will, of course, have a sum assured, he tells us, of 2,40,000 rupees on maturity. He wants to know, Anil, if this is the best option for him, and should he consider any other policy? He has a term of about 20 years right now. What would you recommend?
Arvind, the Max New York Life Shiksha Plus that you've taken would have given you a policy illustration at the time when you bought the policy, and also with the policy document, you would have received a copy of the illustration. So the first thing to do is to check that illustration to see what is the illustrated maturity value that has been given to you. Now, these illustrated maturity values typically are at a 6% and a 10% rate, because that's the set rate on which unit-linked plans are illustrated. And I would suggest that you continue to kind of track the performance of your investments in the various funds, and take decisions periodically on whether you need to switch or continue in the funds that you have selected. But the first step is to go back to the company and check on that illustration.
All right, we've run out of time on this show. Anil, thank you so much for joining us and answering our questions. Remember, if you have questions about your insurance policies or anything to do with your money, you can write to us on the email ID at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching.